What's going on, everyone? Ryan Anderson, Mikey P, back for our HPI bet preview show of the week out at Del Mar on the West Coast. Two graded stakes, grade 2 Pat O'Brien, grade 2 Del Mar Handicap, while it's still named the Del Mar Handicap. Mikey, how you doing? Good to have you back with us.
Doing great. Thanks for having me. I always appreciate coming on and talking horses with you. And of course, Del Mar winding down. It's summer coming to an end, already the end of August. So it's time for some of these Breeders' Cup preps to start kicking in.
It is time for the Breeders' Cup preps to take their place. And with that, we're going to start with our first of two races, the 7 furlong Pat O'Brien. We're just going to jump right into it with a replay of the Bing Crosby with runners Moonlight, Dr. Venkman's Stronghold, and Gold Sweep coming out of there, I should say. It is the 3, 5, 7, and 9. As we watch, Mikey, are you going to play any runners back from this race, or are you going to fade the runners in general?
I think I would fade most of them. I do think that Moonlight is an interesting entrant out of this race into this 7 furlong race. He just kept on coming.
Moonlight is this horse, by the way.
Yes, he's way back.
Which is...
No man.
I like it. Yeah, continue, please.
Yeah, so, I mean, he's typically a miler, and he was shortened up to 6 furlongs, and you could see it produced one of his best rallies of his life. 100 buyer speed figure. He came flying down the middle of the track, and yes, the other ones up front are getting tired. Now, he's not going to win this race, but he just continues to roll through the stretch. He ends up third. He was 47-1. He's not going to be 47-1 in this race, and I do think that 7 furlong should suit that late run for him. He's going to be a price again, and he would be the one that I would want out of that Bing Crosby.
Yeah, he's certainly an interesting runner. We don't have morning lines up on DRF quite yet, but I can pull those up as we continue to talk about it. I'll go down to Moonlight before we start down from the rail. You're going to get Victor Espinoza aboard once again. And look, that first run in the Bing Crosby that produced an equal speed figure to his career best of 100 that he ran last time in September of last year at Churchill Downs, resulting in a win. That was really strong for 6 furlongs. And the track at Del Mar has played fair all year, but to come from that far out of it is a real good effort, I would say. And he is normally a miler. I wonder that if the 7 furlongs really does flatter him in a race like this. But we should talk about the pace scenario as we go through here as well, because there's not a whole lot of speed, I don't think. And that kind of will segue the conversation down to Stronghold on the rail, who I think with some true intention from Antonio Fresu could certainly be forward in here, Mikey.
I do think so. And 7 furlongs is his distance. He has 4 starts at the distance. He has a win in 3 seconds. So, and 3 seconds, or like in the Malibu against Raging Torrent. So, I mean, that's, he's not going to beat that horse going 7 furlongs. I mean, 7 furlongs does suit him. He won the Triple Bend at St. Anita going 7 furlongs. No, he was 1-2 and he was supposed to win that race, but it just sets him up very well. He was second in this race last year going 7. He lost to Dr. Venkman. He was more forward there. I agree. I think he's forward again here from the rail. He probably has to go. Last time was a stinker, though. I mean, I don't know if it was a 6 furlongs. I'm not quite sure what it was, but maybe he just had a bad day. I'm not sure, but he needs to bounce back in a big way, and his price is going to be lower, I think, than I want.
Yeah, he does need to bounce back in a big way. That was one of those head scratchers. Prior to that effort, he had only been out of the exacta twice in his entire career. One of those was going 9 furlongs in the Pegasus World Cup when setting a pretty fast pace, and the other was in the Kentucky Derby. So I never like to have a horse that's that consistent, throwing in a seemingly inexplicable sort of clunker. And we can say maybe he was too far out of it, but we saw horses, including Moonlight, come from well out of it. And while the pace held together, I think the track was playing very fair. So I wonder maybe it just wasn't his best day. If he certainly gets back to that Triple Bend effort and some of those other efforts going 7 furlongs, big threat here, including that 102 he ran going 7 furlongs behind Raging Torrent. Dr. Venkman, I don't know about you, Mikey. I don't particularly want to spend a long time on this one. To me, this is a complete toss.
He won this race last year. He won it after being 4th into Bing Crosby, and he was beating a similar margin. He's third back. He does like this track, but I just don't think his form is quite what it was. That Breeders' Cup Sprint, he was fantastic, honestly. He wasn't beating Ben Tornado in Imagination, but he was right there at the wire. He lost by less than 3 lengths. This is, I don't know. I mean, this is the time he needs to get back to himself, or he needs to maybe decide to start pursuing different spots, because the first 2 starts of the year just really aren't it. We'll see. I mean, this is his track. He won this race last year at this distance, so he's going to bounce back. It could be here.
Yeah, he could certainly bounce back. I don't want to write him off. I'm not saying he doesn't have a chance, but in my tickets, I'm not going to be using him. This is just one of those horses I haven't quite seen him. Haven't seen him get back to that form that we're used to. Even the 92s and 91s, that's not quite what we're used to seeing from him. Those are certainly slower, and he just hasn't been in that same sort of position towards that second half of the race. Like that third point of call is normally when he is in the middle of making that run, and we really haven't seen that to this point. So he's going to have to prove me wrong, but if he can get back to that Breeders' Cup effort, I think he smokes this field. Interesting entrant in here is Vodka. I have no other information other than I assume this horse is entered in here first off of a pretty lengthy layoff. Obviously not eligible for any of the optional claiming or non-winners of X other than because this is a 5-time winner. I feel like those 7 furlongs, Mikey, it's a little bit interesting for this horse, and he has the ability to be tactically placed throughout the running of this race.
It is a cutback. He's won it a mile over this racetrack. He has some class to him. He's second in the Santa Anita Handicap. He won a nice stake at Sunland, going 9 furlongs there. And this race is wide open enough that why not take a shot here? It might be a little short for him, but inside post and this barn, she comes to play. She doesn't have very many horses, but her horses are very good, and she's been picking some ambitious spots for them. I would take a wait-and-see approach, but if you like, you're going to get a price.
Yeah, you're going to get a price if you like her, if you like him. And he'll be on my tickets because I do think at his best, he can certainly factor, and he has a nice finish to him. And he's a little underexposed versus this group, and I think his price is going to be worth a play. He is grade 1 placed from that, the grade 1 big cap that British Isles ended up winning.
Grade 1 in name only.
Grade 1 in name only. Gold Sweep is also in here off the Bing Crosby, where it was a bit of a dud effort. Jockey switch, though, to Ricky Gonzalez, I should say. And I don't know, Mikey, I feel like maybe if he can get back to some of those previous races, I'm almost willing to draw a line through the Bing.
Yeah, I mean, he's sort of like an Oaklawn lover. That's where he does his best work. The Churchill races were just okay. Third to Cornucopia, nice little race there. The Bango, he just kind of went in place, but that track got sloppy in a very short period of time. He doesn't like the wet tracks. So you can pitch that. First time here, it was just 40-1. I don't know. It's just, I think he might need a drop. He's in here. He's a long shot.
He is a long shot. Maybe it is Oaklawn that is where he has his best run. Bartoldi, claimed by Jose D'Angelo out here after this was, if not the ride of the meet, a top 5 ride of the meet from Tyler Bays. This race was kind of just begging for somebody to take it to them, and a horse that had no business being forward went forward under Tyler Bays, went wire to wire, and widened towards the end. I wonder how this one does now, cutting back to 6 furlongs. First off the claim for the D'Angelo barn. Tyler Bays, of course, sticking aboard. Big class test, though, Mikey.
Yeah, this is the guy that loves this racetrack. Look, he did this in November of last year in a very similar spot. 100 claimer, got the front 12-1 and galloped. Did the exact same thing. Just on July the 25th, got the front, improved his position and galloped again. And, that was a decent group of horses. This is a step up, new barn now, capable at the stakes level, looks very speedy. I'd imagine that they will go again here. He needs to prove it, but this is a horse that I would have on tickets. I think that this is one that I think is a middle price that has big races at the track. He's one that I would definitely use.
Yeah, I would expect Bartoldi to be at the absolute least 8-1, although I'm not sure how much action he's going to get with that 103 last time out. I do believe that's a last out top for anybody in this group. Ironman Cal. I understand this one ran a 90 in the big cap, or not the big cap, the San Diego handicap behind Journalism and Shea Brennan last time out. I don't get this one, Mikey. This one's not on my tickets. I don't know about you.
Yeah, it's like they don't really know what to do with him, right? I mean, he's a turf horse, and he finished second in Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf at 2, and then he had some injury issues. They tried the American Turf, and he was betting there. He's 4-1, and And then he's back for the Oceanside in July of last year. He ran well, but he had a tough trip. Turf, and hasn't been doing well. Goes to the dirts in a 5-horse race and really had it all his own way. I mean, he really had no excuse in there. Journalism's a really nice horse, but he should have been second in there. Now we're shortening up to 7 furlongs. I mean, he's a class horse. He's a nice horse. He's got to show he can sprint with some of these better sprinters. Not for me, especially at a short price.
Yeah, I agree. To me, I think he's a much better turf horse than he is on the dirt. He is a gelding now, worth just kind of pointing out, or he has been, I guess, since April. So I guess that's not breaking news. Moonlight, I'll let you take it away. I know we kind of started the analysis with this one. Anything to add?
Well, just look at his one-turn races. I mean, a lot of them came at Churchill, but look back May of 25, one turn at Churchill. Came from off the pace to win, 97 figure. Then he got that one turn again on November 30th at Churchill. Again, came from off the pace to win, extended sprint. Second in the Knicks Go on Derby Day. And that was a really nice line. Honestly, that was a really nice field there. And then not very good there on June the 28th, but came out here and went 6 furlongs, very much shorter than he probably wants to go. And we saw that big rally on the replay. Now you get an extended distance here. You have plenty of confidence going. You're still going to get your price. And I do think that this is a softer field than last time. I know how much you love the winner of that spot. So everything points to that he's going to run another big one. Is it going to be good enough? We'll see. But I do think he's going to be moving forward in the stretch.
Yeah, he's certainly going to be moving forward. And more importantly, that run in the Bing, well, yes, he left a little bit too much to do turning for home. The fact he was able to close so well over the track, clearly got over it well. I think those are really, really good signs you like to see, because doing that at Churchill on that extended sprint of the 1-turn mile versus doing that over the Del Mar surface going 6, those are two completely different tasks that you have. So for him to be able to handle that, I would expect this effort to also be pretty strong. I do think 7 is going to suit him more than 6. Big City Lights, this is the horse I ended up on. I love this horse. This horse does very little wrong. I'm hoping I don't have to take too short a price. If I do, I'd have to play a couple more tickets through him. I don't know, Mikey. I want to ask you in a second of who you think the favorite's going to be in here between the horses that we've talked about so far. But Big City Lights is going to come in here. As you see down on the work tab, being able to catch a couple of those workout videos looks good. Obviously, the spacing is something to kind of note. This is obviously a horse that's been a little start and stop throughout his whole career, but when he has hit the track recently over this surface that he likes, including a 6 furlong work coming in, he has been lights out. He looks like the Big City Lights that we know. If he can run his career best, it factors against anybody unless your name is the Chosen Bronze. So I do think Big City Lights is the horse to beat and certainly going to be on my A-line. Mikey, what are your thoughts on this one, as well as the maybe expected price that you might get?
He's speedy. He shows up almost every time. He's in the money. 15 out of 17 lifetime starts with 9 wins, and that's important. A lot of those wins, though, come against Cowbreds. When he's faced at the top levels, he's only managed thirds. I know he won the Palos Verdes at grade 3 back in 24, but in the Breeders' Cup Sprint, he's 20-1 and he finished 8th. So I'm not sure if he's the absolute top of the class ladder, but he's a hard trier. He's a fast horse, and he's in a race that I do think suits his style. As far as price goes, 3-4-1-ish. This horse always takes money. And in this race, I do think that the money will be spread around. I'm not sure he's value at that price. He needs to prove it. We'll see. And I do think he'll probably get the right trip, though. So if he's good enough, you're going to be in the right spot.
I'm hoping for 3-1, 7-2, somewhere in that range. I feel like that would be fair. He hasn't been that price since the Breeders' Cup, and prior to that, since the Pat O'Brien in 2024. That being said, you mentioned, other than the Palos Verdes win, a lot of those wins have come versus state breds. But it's not really like he's ran poorly. He's ran behind Raging Torrent, the Chosen Ron, Happy Jack, who was in really good form in that Triple Bend. He's ran behind some really good runners and hasn't necessarily gotten some favorable setups. He does have the ability to be a little bit more forward. I hope to see that from him. Kazushi Kimura, if there's anybody that's going to get this horse forward, it's going to be him. He's been aboard for 3 of his last 4 wins. So hope there for Big City Lights. March of Time. I don't know about you, Mikey. Would you be surprised if this is the favorite come post time? Because I feel like Bob and JJ are just going to take a bunch of money as they typically do.
This horse needs to step up. I do like him in this race. I think that he's third back. He's always shown talent. I thought the race last time, the Captivator was able to sneak away from him. He was digging in late, but couldn't quite catch. The fact that they're in here, I think, is very encouraging for a horse that has had plenty of issues, a couple double bar layoffs. I liked him in the last spot. I don't think it'd be favored, honestly, because I just think that there's too many other graded stakes types that are in here, like your Dr. Venkmans, your Big City Lights. Ironman Cow always finds a way to take money. So I do think he's probably right around that 5-1 again. And I want him at that price. I think that this is it's put up or shut up time for him, but I like the fact that they're in the race. I think the 7 furlongs is perfect for him. And I want to see what he can do.
Yeah, he could be in that 5-1 range. I guess that's a fair point. I'm just so used to those Baffert and JJ connections taking obnoxious amounts of money. I almost just assume they're going to go off favored. Jimmy's Daily, a horse that obviously was highly thought of towards the beginning when breaking the maiden at Gulfstream Park, and then right into an optional claiming when running behind Grande, and then into the deep waters of the Florida Derby. Hasn't quite panned out to be the horse I think many believed that he would be, but he does get a bit of a fresh start, fresh surface out here. He's 3 for 4 in the exacta, going 7 furlongs, and he gets an outside post with Jaramillo going to be aboard, who can certainly get some speed. This one just has to really class up to the field, Mikey.
Yeah, it needs to get faster, needs to get a little, I would say better, a little classier, but he's run some okay races, especially given the distance. You look back at those Kentucky lines and those listed stakes. This is tougher, but the fact that they're here, the horse seems to be doing well. He just lacks wins. He's 2 for 12. He has never been at this level. He needs to prove it. He's going to be a big price.
Going to be a big price, and deservedly so. That's the Grade 2 Pat O'Brien winner. You're in for the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile this fall at Keeneland Racecourse. We'll see for part 2 when we go over the Del Mar Handicap, going as the finale on Saturday's card. I'm Ryan Anderson. That's Mikey Brosey. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you for the next one.